So I have to say, for the first time since going back to work, I am super excited that there's train track work that makes my commute longer, because that means I have more time to read the Testaments. Hey everyone, it's Audrey and welcome back to Chapter and Converse. So I literally just got home from work, like chucked my jacket, ripped open my Amazon box, threw my camera together because I wanted to maybe try and do a reading vlog of the Testaments. I am so excited, I can't even believe it's here. I've been waiting for this book since it got announced in 2018. If you don't already know, it's the sequel to The Handmaid's Tale, and if you don't already know, I'm moderately / completely obsessed with this book and have been since I read it back in college, and I kind of can't even almost believe that I have it in my hands. I'm so excited I can't actually believe it's here. It is stunning. I'm loving the cover. I am even more loving the back cover because this gives me hope that these ladies get their lives back. And I am desperate to know what happened to Offred, what happened to all these other women, what happened to Nick, you know, so many questions, so many questions. So basically, I thought I would try and give a reading vlog a chance. I am my third week of work. It's beyond crazy, to say the least. It is drinking out of a fire hose phase of things. I unfortunately have some other stuff going on this week that's going to cut into my reading time. But as much as humanly possible, I'm going to drop everything else that I'm doing and I'm going to read. And I'm going to lug this 400-page hardcover mastery on the train with me every day because I don't want to not have it with me. And I am super sorry to Peter Swanson. I am putting down Before She Knew Him, not because it's not good, but because I can't not. I don't want to risk any spoilers out there. I don't want to risk anybody talking about it. I need to know. I need to know what's going on in this book, and I need to know what happens next. So I don't know how I'm going to reading vlog during a work week, but we're just gonna figure it out. We're just gonna see what happens. And I will keep you guys posted on all of my thoughts, but I am so freaking excited. Hey guys, so I thought I would do a quick check-in. I am 40 pages in. Let's see if we can get this to focus. Boom. And yes, I'm in bed, and no, I'm not gonna flip the camera around right now. But I just wanted to do kind of a first impressions, quick check-in with you guys. And I'm also thinking, I want to kind of keep this vague because if anybody wants to read this, I don't want it to, I don't want to spoil anything that's happening in the book for you guys. So I'll actually like flip that page too. But so far I'm enjoying it, which is not at all a surprise because I do love me some Margaret Atwood. And what I will say is we are getting the story from 3 different perspectives, and I believe it's going to stay that way, just based on what the pattern of the book has been so far. And so far we are seeing a perspective of one of the aunts who, if you read The Handmaid's Tale, likely agree that these are not really women that we like in the book. They are the ones who sort of kept the handmaids in line, for lack of a better way to talk about it, but they did some pretty hateful things in the book. Everyone was sort of given a job in Gilead, but what I get the sense we are going to find out here is about the particular aunt who is telling her story, sort of what her past was, which I'm finding very interesting. There's a little hint of something so far, and also why she did the things she did. And we are seeing this book takes place like 15 years after Handmaid's Tale is sort of how it was pitched. But I honestly didn't even read the inside jacket cover because I didn't want to know anything. And then we are seeing the perspective of a girl who was a child at the time of Gilead. And then this third perspective, I'm not quite sure where she fits into the grand scheme of things because I'm just getting to her now. But I did want to do a check-in because it is 20 after 10. I will be perfectly honest, I'm probably going to go to bed soon because I'm tired and I need to get up early in the morning, and I'm just going to read for as long as I can. But I wanted to do a first impressions check-in, let you guys know my thoughts. Here's a little table of contents. Again, I'm not giving anything away, and I will decide kind of as I go how much I want to divulge, but I'm not going to give any spoilers, so just be aware of that. I'm going to just try and keep it to my impressions and my feelings about the book, but keep it spoiler free for you guys. So there you go. This is chapter 1. I'm loving the graphics on this as well, but yeah, 40 pages in, so far so good. I wish I could stay up all night and read it, but I will let you guys know how I'm feeling tomorrow. Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. It is like 7:15 at night. I just got home from work, which is for like yuck. Just like I can't even with getting home late. But I wanted to jump on quickly and just update you guys about The Handmaid's Tale, because obviously I had zero time to do that this morning before I went to work, or at any chance time during the day while I'm at work. But I am like 100, maybe a couple more pages in. And I'm really, really loving it so far. I gave this a lot of thought. I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys because that's just rude if you guys want to actually read the book and enjoy it as it happens. But, sorry, I dropped my phone. What I will say from a spoiler-free standpoint is, as I mentioned last night, we are so far still sticking with the 3 different perspectives. We kind of get like a few chapters from each person, so it's not like it alternates constantly, and things are starting to connect a bit from a timeline perspective. I wasn't quite sure. At least 2 of the perspectives are happening at the same time. The 3rd one I'm not quite clear on, but I suspect that they are all happening simultaneously. Although I suspect one of the timelines might be earlier. So I know this is all like super vague, but what I will say is it is fabulous Margaret Atwood writing. There are some great lines, images, quotes, phrases, thought-provoking commentary. We are starting to see some good development. I'm not quite clear on where things are going, but I can see how things are connecting from the first book. I can see I don't even want to say the direction she's going, because I have no idea what she's going to do with this or where we're going to end up or how it's going to wrap up. But I'm really, really loving it so far. So basically I am going to shower, eat, make my lunch for tomorrow to haul into work, and get into bed and just read for the rest of the night. And I don't even care what else I need to do or should do. I'm 100% going to commit to just reading for the rest of the night. So I'm going to guess that I might not get on camera again, because I probably won't. But I will let you guys know. I have a shorter work day tomorrow, but I have some other stuff to do, so hopefully I'll be able to commit a little bit more time to reading and a little bit more time to catching up with you guys. So I'm sorry this is a little bit on the fly. And yes, but loving it so far. That is my update. So far, still highly recommending everybody pick up this book. Hey guys, happy Thursday. It is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I am home early from work today because I had a doctor's appointment, and I'm not home because I have stuff to do, but I'm home, so I'm going to do stuff, if that makes any kind of sense. I need to log back on for work just to check a few things, but I thought before I fell down that rabbit hole, I would check in with you guys. And it is so nasty outside today. I literally desperately need to like hop in the shower and wash my hair and get the ick off of me. But I did get to read more of The Handmaid's Tale, or I keep calling it The Handmaid's Tale, The Testaments, on the train there and back today. And I think I'm like halfway through the book right now. I'm still totally loving it. I'm having a very hard time talking to you guys about it without like talking about it. So first up, I'm filming on my phone, which I never do, so I'm having a hard time figuring out where to look. And sorry if I look weird when I'm doing this, but I'm very much still enjoying the three perspectives, the three characters, the stories are unfolding, things are connecting. Obviously, it connects to The Handmaid's Tale because it's a sequel. I need to actually go back to The Handmaid's Tale to look at one thing because I'm not sure if one thing is a connection or it's something new. And one thing that I'm struggling with is Margaret Atwood is very smart, and part of, I'm not struggling with that, but part of the point of the book is that it not only like picks up 15 years later and you're getting sort of perspectives from people who were there for Gilead, but you're also getting some of the history of how it was formed in the first place and how some people became a part of the regime, so to speak. And part of what I'm struggling with is there is a character in it that I don't know if I would say liking, but maybe understanding. And it is not a character I ever thought that I would have understood or sympathized with or anything. So we're halfway through. She may not make me feel the same way by all when all is said and done, but it's very interesting to sort of go back to before Gilead was in place and understand how it came to be, so to speak, and a lot of the behind the scenes with the Mayday group and things like that. So I'm still not quite sure who everybody is. I have a couple suspicions. I have a couple thoughts. I have a couple wishes of what I hope will happen in some cases. So we're just going to have to wait and see. But long story short, I'm completely still enjoying it. I just want to keep reading it and find out what happens. So I will get back to that in a bit. I am going to make it my mission to edit an old video and post it. And by old, I mean there was a day when I just filmed a bunch of videos, and because I've been super crazy with work and other things, I've been very bad about pre-editing and pre-loading videos. So I'm going to post something that I probably filmed a few weeks ago, but there'll be a video up by the time you see this. Hopefully that will have been up, assuming I actually decide this is a worthy vlog to post. And I need to log on to do some work stuff. It is the end almost of week 3. I would say things are also starting to come together a little bit and connect a little bit. It's crazy. I already hired my first new hire. He starts on Monday. So I'm trying to come up with a training schedule for someone at a firm that I don't know a ton about. So there's that happening. I'm also in the throes of meeting like every vendor, everybody humanly possible. I just want to get over this hump in things, but I'm kind of getting tasked with some big projects already, which is great. That's like the whole point. And I'm excited. I'm going to get involved in some furniture and some renovation work, which has always been a core of what I do. I would say the interior design furniture piece of it is one of my most favorite parts of it all. So I just got the giant pile of fabric yesterday. We need to reupholster a bunch of chairs. Some people this might sound frightfully dull, but I just love it to bits. And I'm just trying to get in the groove and get stuff done and make some things happen. So everyone's been super lovely. Everyone's been really patient, which is great. And yeah, I feel like I'm finding a little bit of a groove and getting some good guidance from some people. So I've had some rough starts in some jobs before, and I would say this is the least rough that I've had in a while, which is really says something, I think, for the company and the culture and my boss and all that good stuff. But you guys don't care about my job. You're here to talk about books. So I am going to go do a little work stuff, and then I'm going to get back to the Testaments, and I'm going to keep you guys posted on what's happening. And yes, we'll see what happens this weekend. I will definitely be finishing it this weekend, if not sooner. I am not making any committed plans to do anything right now. We'll see. We'll see where the weekend takes me and where tomorrow takes me. I basically am in that zone also where I'm so freaking tired that all I want to do is come home and do nothing. So I'm going to come home and just keep on reading. So I hope everybody is having a fabulous Thursday and a fabulous time reading. I'm also going to film my Contemporary-a-thon TBR because I do want to give that a go, because I have been reading so many thrillers sort of between Thriller-a-thon and my general taste for thrillers, and I really want to consciously sort of get out of that zone a little bit, and I think Contemporary-a-thon is going to be the perfect way to do that. So that is coming September. I have notes written on my cabinets here. September 23rd. So stay tuned for all of that too, and again, by the time this goes up, who knows what else is happening, but I will check in with you guys later. Hey guys, happy Saturday. I am doing my first ever car shopping center parking lot vlog catch up. But I came out this morning to run errands. It is so gloomy. I don't know where yesterday's beautiful sunshine went, but I'm totally bummed. But I am running around doing a couple errands. I'm heading to the supermarket. I'm going to pop in Barnes & Noble. I went to go return a pair of jeans and I walked out with a different pair and a pair of pants. So I don't know if that counts as successful or completely unsuccessful, because the whole goal was to get my money back. But I am less than 100 pages left in The Handmaid's Tale, or the Testaments. I keep calling it The Handmaid's Tale. And it took all my energy to yank myself out of the house and not just sit there and read it, because I needed to get to the post office to return some other stuff. So if you see a pattern here, yes, I buy things and return them, and I have a shopping problem. I also, like I said, need to get to the supermarket, so I'm trying to do a little local shop today, and then if I need to do a big food shop tomorrow, I will. This is all extremely exciting stuff, isn't it? I was also back on the podcast, writer podcast bandwagon, train, vibe, I don't know, this week. And when I was getting dressed this morning, I was listening to Leigh Bardugo, and I will say, so I've never read any of her books. That should not be a surprise to people, because it's definitely sort of that fantasy kind of universe type thing, which I normally don't read, but have had a little bit of a kick with after my V.E. Schwab Vicious discovery, and I'm still going to read Vengeful. But I had heard about Ninth House, which is a new Leigh Bardugo coming out, I want to say in November, which is her first adult book, and it's set in the real world. So I want to say it's Yale and it's secret societies, and Leigh Bardugo went to Yale. So I'm super intrigued by that book and wanted to pick it up. And so I started to listen to an old podcast of hers that she did with Barnes & Noble. I want to say, I don't know when her last book came out, but they were talking a little bit about Ninth House. They were talking about Six of Crows duology, because that's coming out on Netflix. They have optioned it, and her original Something and Bone, I want to say Skin and Bone, but I think that's the Foo Fighters album. But anyway, but I totally enjoyed, oh God, sorry guys. I totally enjoyed her interview, and I find her super interesting. And this is kind of how I went down the Victoria Schwab rabbit hole, but I'm thinking I might pick up a Leigh Bardugo book. And I don't know if you start with Six of Crows or you start with, I think Ink and Bone is maybe what it's called. That's her first book. And my gut tells me to start with the first one, because first time novel, first time writer, I feel like that's where you start. And also she does, I think they're two separate books, but I think maybe it's the same universe or something. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm so out of my element. So anyway, I thought I would just kind of take a browse at those. And then let's be honest, what I really want to buy is the chain. And it's $16 on Amazon. My best guess is that's the best deal I'm going to find for it. The downside of the Barnes & Noble, although I want to support my local store, is that the books are so dang expensive compared to what I can get online. So I'm going to do a walk around, browse a little bit. We'll see if I come out empty-handed or not. And then I'm going to hit up the supermarket, and I will let you guys know how that goes. But then I'm going to get back to the Testaments, and I'm going to finish it today so I can give you a full-blown review. I'm still loving it. Lots is happening. I don't know where it's going to end, but I'm really, really intrigued, and I'm really, really loving it, and I'm liking a lot what Margaret Atwood is doing with this book. So I'm off to the store. It's getting hot in the car because I turned it off so the air conditioner's not cranking. And yes, I'm going to go run and do my stuff, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. Hey guys, it is Saturday afternoon. It's like almost 4 o'clock and I just finished reading the Testaments. And if I look like 50 miles of bad road or like someone who just kind of cried her eyes out, it's because I did. And I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm just gonna give some thoughts. But I fully cried. I even cried during the acknowledgements. Margaret Atwood is just so amazing. And I feel like I could cry talking about it now. But in a nutshell, I feel like she did such an incredible job with this book. And like she even writes in the acknowledgements, like it's been 35 years since The Handmaid's Tale came out. And I think even at the beginning, there were always questions about what happened and how the book ended. And if you read The Handmaid's Tale, and you have to, I pulled it off the shelf. You have to read The Handmaid's Tale to understand the Testaments. Otherwise, I mean, like, don't even bother with the Testaments because it's just not going to make sense to you. But people, even way back in 1985, you know, wanted to know what happened next. And I think that has always been a question. And obviously, it caught whole new life with the Hulu show and everything that's going on in the U.S. Today and the past few years. And I think this story could have gone in so many different directions. She could have done so many different things with it. Like, possibilities were endless, and I just didn't even know what to expect. And I think she did an incredible job. I think she did an incredible job not only of continuing the story, but of honoring the original story and in honoring all the fans of the story, in the sense that there were so many people who wanted to know what happened next. And it's very interesting to me because, again, I'm not going to tell you anything about it, but she, you know, said that this will answer all of your questions, and it does, but perhaps not in a way people were thinking it might. So it follows 3 different perspectives. I will give you just a few, like I said, nuggets, nothing spoilery. So that held true. We stayed with our 3 female perspectives. I really wound up caring about / understanding someone that I never expected to. It's very interesting to see how she portrays the inner workings of Gilead and how it came about. And I think some new, fresh outside perspective on things. And, you know, the book, again, it takes place 15 years after, I'm sorry, like some of the timelines, because it goes back to like before Gilead came into being, or sort of when it first came into being, sort of till present day, the end of the book. So it's like a 15-year jump from the original one, but the timelines get a little bit mixed up. But, you know, to see the perspective of people who have been living in it this entire time. So not when it's fresh and new. So in Handmaid's Tale, it's very new for Offred. This horrible world has just sort of come upon them. And now we're getting the perspectives of people who have been in it for 15 years. So it's very interesting to see sort of that shift in perspective and what has changed and what hasn't changed since the original book when it comes to the people who live in Gilead and the people around it. So all in, I just found it to be like extremely powerful in her writing, in her storytelling, the story of these 3 women. It just was so good. I am such a fan of Margaret Atwood. I have been for an extremely long time. So I will do my one last push for anyone. If you haven't read The Handmaid's Tale, you have to read this book because it is so incredible. I read this in college, so I did not read it in 1985, but I have waited some decades for this to come out. And if you haven't read Handmaid's Tale, you get the joy of reading them both back to back. I would also encourage you to take a little bit of a pause in between to sort of appreciate it. And it's interesting, like this is a book that I absolutely wanted to fly through, and I have read it consistently over the past 5 days, but I'm also glad I didn't like power read it in one day, because I think having the breaks each night also gave me a little bit of time to sort of mull about it and think about it and kind of let it sit with me. And have the story sit with me. So I am, like I said, so happy I read it. I feel like as the days go on, I'm going to continue to have different feelings about it. I feel like I'm in a hugely heightened emotional state right now because I literally just finished reading it like 10 minutes ago. And I kind of feel like I want to go have like a really hot bath and a really good cry, kind of like climb into my bed and not do anything else this afternoon because I just want to sort of be with this book. But I definitely feel so satisfied with what she did with this, and I haven't read anybody's reviews. I haven't looked at anything online other than a few things that Margaret Atwood had like let out kind of before the book came out. So I will be curious to see what other people think of the book. I'm sure there is going to be opinions all over the board. I'm pretty sure she broke a ton of records with this book already in terms of sales and everything else. So now I'm going to dive down the hole about what other people think, and then perhaps I'm really sorry, I'm pretty sure you can hear the train going by. When I do my monthly wrap up, you know, maybe I'll chime in with a few more thoughts and see what some other people were thinking about it. But anyway, kind of a wonky reading vlog, first time doing this. So thank you guys for sticking with it and sticking with me through this. I would love to know if anybody else read it, what you guys thought of it, if you're planning on reading it, if you weren't planning on reading it, but now you're super curious about it, or maybe you want to pick it up. I'm also going to finally dive into season 3 on Hulu. The book and the season have nothing to do with one another. So again, like season 1 of Handmaid's Tale, the book and the Hulu show end the same way. There's a lot of, I don't even want to say similarities. It very much follows the book in season 1. You get some different perspectives, more well-rounded, because obviously the book is just from Offred's perspective. So the Hulu show, you do get different perspectives. But season 2 and season 3 of the Hulu show have nothing to do with the Testaments. That is literally a continuation of Handmaid's Tale, sort of like the next day rather than 15 years later. So show's totally worthwhile if you didn't pick up on that part from me. It's just, it's all so good. All such good stuff. So read it. Let me know what you think of it. I will catch up with you guys in another video about some other stuff going on. If I included this, I tried to do like some little live vlogging today from my errands and stuff like that. I didn't actually wind up buying anything at Barnes & Noble, but I am pretty sure I'm going to hop on Amazon tonight and reward myself for getting my first paycheck at my job. I had to wait 3 weeks for this paycheck. So I think I'm gonna celebrate that by getting myself a book. So I'll let you guys know what that one is too. So that's gonna do it for this reading vlog, and I will be back soon with something else. I'm not sure what I'm gonna put up next, so we can all be surprised with that together. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Bye everybody.